Hey there guys, how you doing? It's Phil. Today I wanted to cover a blog post that Arrowhead made on the r/Helldivers subreddit regarding Helldivers 2, exploring possible solutions of the game's honestly severe issues. The Helldivers 2 tech blog post addresses the game's large PC installation size, which is around 150 gigabytes, about 3 times larger than the console version. The core reason for this difference is data duplication on the PC version, a technique used to optimize loading times for mechanical hard drives or HDDs. By duplicating certain assets like textures or sound effects and storing them physically close to where they're needed on the disk, the game reduces the time for HDDs to read head and seek. As they describe it, imagine a large game level with various objects, trees, rocks, buildings, props. If the data for these objects is scattered all around the hard drive, the read head has to physically jump around the disk, which adds a lot of time to the loading process. The problem is that the duplication, while beneficial to older HDDs, is unnecessary for SSD users, which have virtually no seek time. Many PC players are using SSDs and are frustrated at the massive file size. The dilemma, ultimately, is that the developers are hesitant to remove the duplication entirely because mechanical HDDs are still part of the game's minimum system requirements. They estimate that removing the duplication could make the game load the HDD up to 10 times slower than it is now, which they deem reasonably so unacceptable, even though they don't know the exact percentage of players still using HDDs, and in the post they reference about 12%. There's a series of solutions that the team has in mind, while minimizing the impact on HDD load times. In the short term, they've made small gains by removing unused assets, but new content will likely be offset by these. In the medium term, they plan to deduplicate the worst offenders by placing them in very common asset bundles. This will result in slightly worse loading times for HDD users, at roughly an increase of like 30 seconds, and potentially increase the RAM usage. And a potential long-term solution is planning engine improvements to prevent wasted RAM and exploring compression and replicating console deduplication methods, though these are bigger, riskier projects. There was various other items discussed, and for those who are curious about what those are, I encourage you to pay a visit to the blog post on your own time, which I have linked in the description. A couple weeks ago, the CEO of Arrowhead, Sham Georgiani, was having discussions in the main Helldivers Discord regarding the idea of Helldivers 2 being a, and I quote, forever game. Myself and the directors agree we would love this game to be a forever game. Assuming we get a grip on the performance and dev practices, we can keep expanding it for a long time. PlayStation is super supportive. I am not against the idea of Helldivers 2 being a forever game, but I can't be alone in feeling like passing comments from the CEO are not enough to help define whether there will be a Helldivers 3 or something like it in the future. As this blog post has made clear, Helldivers 2 is in an arguably terrible spot right now. The blog can be boiled down to essentially 3 points. A. Do we optimize with SSDs in mind? B. Do we optimize with HDDs in mind? Or C. Do we optimize with both HDDs and SSDs in mind? Having recently transitioned from being an HDD player, I can say with confidence that I understand the struggle for HDD users. I was always the last to load in, and I always dragged my squads down with me whenever I was the host. I think before anything else can be done, the developers, the board, whoever is relevant for the discussion needs to sit down and come to a meaningful conclusion on the future of Helldivers and another blog post released to the community. For my opinion, whatever that's worth, if Helldivers 2 is going to be a forever game, Arrowhead needs to start focusing on PC users with SSDs, not HDDs. If I'm going to be booting up Helldivers in 3, 5, or even 10 years, I expect that far down the line, no matter the date, for the game to be stable, and I do not believe that taking both the SSDs and HDDs into equal consideration will result in a stable game at any point in time. More realistically, I think that Arrowhead has no choice but to release either a new engine to accommodate for the ever evolving Galactic War or upgrade the existing Autodesk Stingray engine, which, as far as I'm concerned, is only possible with the original engine developers on hand. Don't forget that Autodesk Stingray, the engine that Helldivers 2 runs on, was discontinued in 2018. And while I'm not privy to the details, I don't think it has been getting any patches or updates in between now and 2018, outside of anything that Arrowhead may have potentially done themselves, which is a real possibility. But again, I don't know. If there is going to be a Helldivers 3, whatever form that comes in, then for the time being, Arrowhead should focus on both HDDs and SSDs for Helldivers 2. But that still boils down to the ultimate question of how long can we expect Helldivers 2 and the Stingray engine to continuously operate for? Now, look, I'm not going to act like I didn't just boil down a truly nuanced situation, and there's no world where I could hope to provide more than I have in this video without being explicitly involved. I understand that switching to SSDs is not only intimidating for some PC users, as not all are mechanically inclined, but it's also an expensive switch. My SSD cost me $300 after taxes. A cheaper SSD may cost you $150 after taxes, and it will serve you well, but I'm certain some of you watching this now are still running on motherboards that aren't compatible with SSDs to begin with, in which case increases the cost of upgrading exponentially. If Helldivers 2 is going to be a forever game, the developers need to accept some really, really hard choices. Really hard choices that are going to have to be made that will leave some of their customers at a loss, something that I wholly sympathize with. I'm not saying work to outpace the customer's system specs. Absolutely take them into consideration regardless, but at some point or another, without some spectacular magical solutions or meaningful developments in efficiency, folks are going to fall behind. Many have already fallen behind. Members of my own clan cannot even play Helldivers anymore because of how unstable the game has become. Literally, their games won't even start. Community members are already falling off. It's not a matter of are they going to fall off, it's already happening. None of this is to mention the narrative implications, like, I don't know, will the Second Galactic War continue in perpetuity? Is there truly an endgame in lead up to an eventual Third Galactic War? Will we have this Helldivers 3 or whatever engine upgrade change is? Will people who are unable to upgrade be able to still play Helldivers 2? While everyone else is playing Helldivers 3? Will there be a duo ecosystem where both platforms can coexist and contribute to the war effort still? Just those on upgraded SSD oriented engines have an overall better experience, whereas the Helldivers 2 players will at the very least be provided a stable HDD compatible engine as to ensure they can still help? In a perfect world, yes, we can all play Helldivers forever in perpetuity, but I'll be the first to say we aren't in the world. An upgrade is going to come down the pipeline at some point or another, and it's going to come at the cost of some Helldivers. It's a very fluid situation, and a lot is going to change over the coming months and years, and for now, I'd really love to know your thoughts, opinions, and reactions in the comments. Make sure you like and subscribe. What is that? Killing 3 hunters with 1 Hellpod? Why not? One final time, I want to repeat my biggest point out of all of this. The developers at Arrowhead, Sony, and whoever else has weight on the scale needs to sit down and figure out what the exact plan is, set it in stone, and tell us, the Helldivers fanbase. You can find a link to the developer blog in the description and a link to the first Colonial Regiment. This is a big deal to me because I do not intend to go anywhere, and I want not only my clan community to succeed, but the Helldivers community as a whole. On the topic of Helldivers 3, I could go forever. It's been on my mind for over a year, but not in this video. So expect more in the future. I hope to see you this Friday at my major order deployment at 7 p.m. EST, New York, Toronto time, and be sure to join us for Liberty Day festivities. Over 50 clans are on board for celebrations, and we want all of you to get involved. Happy hell diving, and I'll see you on the battlefield.